Morning, everybody. It has been a complicated 2 days, shall I say 24 hours for me as far as streaming is concerned. I'd like to apologize to all my audience listening yesterday in the morning. I don't know what happened. The internet it wasn't really working properly for me. I don't know. I don't know if it's from my end or it's from the stream surface. So I went for roughly about 55 minutes, and in looking back at the time for the stream yesterday morning, I see 29 minutes, and so I went back and I finished it up in another 25 minutes. It should make it roughly nearly 60 minutes, 55 minutes, and I realized that I only saw 11 minutes. The streaming thing is just not working for me. Yesterday evening, I did a stream with regard to fish keeping literature. I was having the conversation for 40 odd minutes, and I only saw 35. I don't know what's happening. Hopefully this morning I can actually go through my monologue. I can go through the discussion, and the entire time is go through nicely, and information shared is of value and can be applied within the fish keeping hobby. This is Raleigh for another early morning 6 to 7. Welcome to my stream. Okay, so the topic for this morning's stream is: do aquariums need light? Do you think our aquariums need light? Alright, so when I was preparing for this stream, because unlike some streams that I have done where I've actually just spoken, but this one I had to do some research, some paperwork. I had to look at some literature, some documentation on this. I realized that after looking at it, at first when I was looking at it, I thought that it was just a foregone conclusion. I thought that the answer was just easy as yes or no. But after looking at it, I realized that it's not that it's not that simple. It's more complicated. Then of course I look at the topic, and I actually look through the information. I synthesize it. The response practically is based on your exact situation. Alright, so here it is. Now, the follow-up question to this question as to whether or not someone can actually you should actually install lights in the aquarium. Some paperwork. I had to look at it. Right? The novice fish keeper probably, if the answer is yes or no, the novice fish keeper probably might. And when I say novice fish keeper, I'm talking about the newbies, the fish keeper that is entering into the hobby, not proper guidance, or not knowing whether or not should do or should not do. Right? They probably might have a follow-up question. So why do we need to install lights in all our aquariums? Well, some might argue. Morning. Well, some might argue rightfully that light adds to our electricity bill, right? Each month or each fortnight, depending on when your bill actually come to you, right? But the addition of lights to your aquarium, let's say you have 10 aquariums and you install lights on the 10 aquariums, your light bill is going to go up. right? Light also increase the heat that exists within the aquarium, and it regardless of whether or not you use hallucinogen light bulbs, or you use LED light bulbs, or you use fluorescent light bulbs. That's a fact. um, Literature have many responses to the question. I think I talk about the latter in a bit, with regards to the whole idea of the light and the heat on the water. A lot of emphasis is normally placed on aquarium lights. Same too with aquarium filtration, and a lot of persons have principled approach with regards to aquarium light and filtration. Some of them is just really extreme. Some persons over filter the aquarium. Some persons put too much lights in there. Today the talk is about aquarium lights, so I leave filtration alone for another day. Alright, so the introduction of lights within the aquatic space serve to benefit plants, right? Yeah, sorry about that. A clock telling me that it is 6. Alright, so let me get some things right here. Alright, sorry about that. So as I said before, the introduction of lights within the aquatic space serve to benefit plants, right? And it gives a nice, genuine, visual, aesthetic look, right? Now, this feature within the aquarium space, of course, help the plants to actually grow, right? And it helps the individual looking on the aquarium to actually, see what is happening. See it helps the centerpiece. You make the centerpiece aquarium, and let's say that it is overgrown with plants. Nice thing, substrate and all that, so it have a little dark spot, but you put the light there, it give you that serene and tranquil look, as I spoke about yesterday with regards to yesterday yesterday, as I talk about the centerpiece aquarium. Here's the fact you should remember: most, if not all, aquatic species subject, right? Seaboating, and I thought, when I was looking at this, I thought that it was like a no-brainer. I thought that aquatic species actually saw in only black and white, but when the more you dig in literature, the more you read, you discover a lot of things, right? I discovered that aquatic creatures see in both color and black and white. Hence the color on some fish attract their mate, the whole idea of procreation. How unique are the eyes of the fish? It relates to the eyes being affected by the light. The fish retina possesses both cones for color vision as well as rods for black and white vision, right? During the daylight, fish primarily cones for vision in the day is like it's adjusted, right? So the cones for the fish in the night, it's adjusted, and in the night the much higher light sensitivity resolution are used instead, right? So the eye of the fish is not necessarily dependent on the light. However, I read somewhere that it depends on the region in which the fish actually comes from. The fish might be more, the acceptance of light within the space is, receiving gratitude, and some of them is like it's a no. I'm gonna get there shortly as I actually share as to what exactly I'm talking about. Now, as I talk about light, during the daylight, aquarium is there, and you some persons keep the light on for the entire day on the aquarium, right? Which is a very bad thing, right? Science tells us that fish have eyes similar to humans, right? But they also have protective film over the eyes so that they can see more clearly underwater. Now, their eyes have rods and cones cells on their retinas, right? So the sensitivity of the fish eye, right? Um, it is affected with the light. All right, the eyes have rods and cones, right? Oh, I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. So we know that they can see color as well as shades of gray and light and dark. It's important for you to know all along that, as I said before, these are in black and white. I thought that was the case, but it wasn't. Until I read the literature, I discovered that they can see color too. So not only are we benefiting from this shared information, I am becoming more prolific in understanding the organs and their structure with the fish eyes and sight. Alright, understanding the structure should aid in our experience in keeping your aquatic fish healthy and looking great. The idea of continual lighting being on, as I said before, in the aquarium can cause trouble. Aquarium lights, if left on too long, can help to warm the water. Remember I was saying that before, right? It can also increase the rate in which algae grow within the aquarium. So that could spell danger for some fish, which is considered delicate and requires specific condition to survive. If I had aquarium lights, I definitely would not take them down or rip them off after listening to this stream. Gosh, aquarium lights can cost a lot of cash. So if hey, morning lunatic fringe, this morning we're talking about the whole aquarium lights thing, I've seen some persons doing some fancy stuff regarding aquarium lights, and I remember I did a video piece. I did a video piece a few months ago, fringe, and I looked at the bubble one, the availability of bubble one in Jamaica, and it costs a healthy penny, right? It costs a healthy penny. So I suggest that our responsible hobbies, I think our responsible hobbies should actually have what I call it, a timer, the lights and timer. To me, it's the best to keep up a day and night schedule. Now, if you don't have a timer, keep the lights on for short trips only. Longer trips need a timer. So I wouldn't keep a aquarium light on, like let's say for the entire night, right? You only need to feed the fish, allow the fish to eat for a few minutes, fish finish eat within 5 minutes, and you would actually extract from the aquarium, because you all know that if food is left within the aquarium for a prolonged period of time, that spells trouble, because when that break down, it mess up the water chemistry. So you remove that. The fish doesn't need light for extensive period. Turn off the lights when you are going to your bed, right? The fish will be less active, yes, with the lights off, but that doesn't mean that the fish is suffering. What happens when you actually turn off the lights, keep less lights on, is that you find that the fish require less food. Well, fish will eat less food, because remember, fish see and fish consume what it sees, right? If it's palatable. right? So you have the risk of waste within the aquarium being lessened because there's less food that is being consumed by the fish. So therefore there's less um what I call it now, waste within the water to be broken down, right? You also have the limited risk of getting what you call algae bloom. Let's see what lunatic finch says. Yes, that's true. That's true, and I'm coming to that because I was keen about that part, lunatic finch. I was keen about that, so therefore I read about that and I discovered that some fish within some species, yeah, so I discovered that some species of fish, I discovered that some species of fish actually like the lights, like tropical fish, right? While other species of fish, for example, those fish that dwells within the black water space, they would more than likely like less light, if any, none at all, right? Because they have fish that dwell at the bottom, and the light sensitivity on their eyes, it just doesn't spell well. Morning, 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 Fred. Morning, morning. This morning we're looking at lights within the aquarium, boss. Yeah, nice seeing you. We're talking so far. We're saying that whether or not aquarium really need the lights. We look at lights being just a means of for aesthetic look. And the light, some persons say that they need the light so that the plants can grow. Some person says that if the lights are not there, the plants will die, plants will not see to eat, plants will not be active. All of which I just said a while ago, Derek, is of great value. But there is the other argument which points to the fact that too much extreme, the extremity of light within the aquarium can spell danger, can mean algae bloom, it can mean fish eating too much, and therefore, well, when I say too much, I'm not meaning overeating, but they just eating and they're pooping, so therefore you end up with more waste. So the lights, if the lights are placed on a timer, what you find is that the waste load is decreased. Fish might be less active, but you find that, yeah, it works out best for you, and the water, the temperature is actually at a, yeah, you might be saying that, but the lights cannot actually affect the temperature. Yeah, man, the light can affect the temperature, and the warmer the temperature, sometimes some bacteria actually multiply rapidly within that, so therefore it spells trouble for your aquarium fish. But I will not go into that section right now, right? I just talk about the lights and whether or not it is of such a great significance that we should consider it. Also, that lights is within the aquarium, you can actually spell, like if you have, let's say that you have 20 tank, Derek, and you decide to, give me a sec, guys, give me a sec. Alright, so let's say that you have 20 aquariums, and you have the 20 aquariums on light for the entire day. That's a whopping light bill, right? So if lights are left for 2 days, the impact can be devastating on the aquatic life, if steps are not taken so that the situation can be managed properly, right? It's so crazy when you hear some persons who you believe are well read on fish keeping and fish care literature speak utter rubbish in relation to aquarium lights. Let's look at some fun facts. Alright, let's look at some fun facts. Morning, morning, morning. Alright, I'm trying to read the comments here. Ah, yeah, I understand what you're saying, boss. I understand what you're saying, but you see, in everything that you do, you have to have temperance. So the timer and the aquarium, that's why at the beginning when I was talking about light, I said that when I first looked at it, because I'm one who love to follow the principles of nature. And when I go to the river, I do not see any light string up along the riverside. So I'm usually one to be saying that no lights are needed. However, however, um after clearly looking at it, I realized that there's no cut and dry response to whether or not lights should be or should not be installed. But there are some rational some principles. Hold on there. Yeah. Yes, right, Derek. True, true. Yes, true, 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 true. That's so true. Put in so Derek, in actually installing lights on an aquarium, and actually installing lights on an aquarium, we have to be mindful of the timer and the timer settings. So it's as if we have to have an idea as to how much lights to allow. Hey, I want everything Aqua 7. Nice senior boss. Nice, nice, nice. We're talking about lights on the aquarium. Now there are three lights that are normally used within aquarium. Back in the old days, they usually use hallucinogen light. You know those light bulbs, the one light bulb by the screen, right? And then they came with this fluorescent, this long bulb within the aquarium. Now the fancies is all about LED, right? Within the aquarium. But some fun facts: LED does not reduce algae growth when compared to fluorescent and hallucinogen bulb. The thing about hallucinogen is that it produces a lot of heat. It tends to be brighter, right? However, light is light. Whether it is bright or whether it is low, light is light, and it depends on the intensity of the light of the LED that you might end up with problems, because I've seen aquariums with LED that is the tone is really soft, but you still have algae growth, right? I had that notion too until I decided to actually read more on the issue. I discovered that the thinking was has no basis. The reasoning regarding LED and fluorescent as to whether or not LED doesn't really contribute to algae growth. Um, as they would say in quote law, it has no value. Yes, yes, yes. Everything aqua. Bless up. Don't get me wrong. Installing LED lights in an aquarium is a great idea. The heat emitted by fluorescent bulbs are more than that of the LEDs, and the heat emitted by fluorescent and hallucinogen more than LED. So LED, when on a comparative scale, everybody, on a comparative scale, the heat is far less with LED when comparison to fluorescent and hallucinogen. Okay, there are times intense shade depends upon the species. Now think about. Yes, that's what I was saying. Lunatic fringe. You are so correct. You are so correct. And I said it before that some fish species, especially those that are bottom dwellers, those that live within what I call it, black water, dark water, within the natural ways, they don't fancy light, right? Like the catfish, the cories, the the loaches, those rocks which actually lives at the substrate. Those those fish that actually live at the substrate. I was saying rocks a while ago, right? They don't fancy lights like that. Yeah, natural light is totally different. right? No aquarium lights are needed. Exactly aquarium. Exactly aquarium aqua, right? So when you look at LED, fluorescent, and hallucinogen, right? LED is the thing, the go-to type of light that is being used right now. Um, and it's a really interesting topic because it brings out several things, right? It talks about the heat, it talks about the intensity. I choose to actually install light on my aquarium. Oh, everything aqua. What you saying? My cat. Okay. Wow. Well, everything aqua. Well, I understand, but I guess it's the intensity of the light. I guess it's the, and everything aqua. You should do a video on that piece, right? Because you see all the information being shared is based on research documented information, and if shared information like what you said a while ago regarding the catfish is not shared, no one will actually know certain things. So it's just an anomaly sometimes hearing stuff like that, because I would be of the opinion that the less light for these fish, they would feel more comfortable, right? But I would not keep a fish in total dark aquarium. I would either place the aquarium in a lighted spot, or I would get a light system installed, but I would actually have a dimmer switch, so the lights actually would, the intensity of the light would actually help both the inhabitants, well, the aquatic creatures, and the plant itself. But bear in mind, bear in mind that that when you turn down the intensity of the light on the aquarium, right, your plants start to get some yellow leaf. So it is interesting to note that the most it is interesting to note, right, as Aqua was saying, everything Aqua was saying, it is important to note, and I think Fringe was actually mentioning something to that effect, that most tropical species of fish prefer longer light hours, right? They like the whole idea of a lighted aquarium, aquarium that they can, they can see well. The light bright, well, I wouldn't say bright light, but a means of lighting within the aquarium. Yes, that's true. Everything aqua. I heard about that one. As a matter of fact, I saw a video piece on that, and the eyes, it just looks so crampy. I mean, the eye, you see the eyes there, but it's like it's blind, but it just looks weird. It look like, it just look back. It just looks so ancient. I've seen a documentary on that fish, as a matter of fact, and I've seen that fish in that's the Mexican tetra. I've seen that in movies, right? As I said, the most tropical species prefer longer light hours, and it's to me, being on a timer would be the most appropriate thing. Um, on the opposite side, fish from the temperate region like the Amazon ecosystem, where the water is a little darkened, moderate light, low lighting probably might be a little bit more appropriate than, let's say, the brighter lights that might be existing within like a tropical aquarium, right? The brighter the light for brighter light for the tropical type of aquarium, because you're going to end up with fish from, well, I practiced, I don't know about you, but you see, when you actually place fish within a community aquarium that belongs to the same region, you find it more easier to actually group the plants appropriately, and then now you can treat all the ansandre the same way as far as light, filtration, substrate, everything together. But when you mix them up from different regions, it's very, 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 very difficult, especially when it comes on to the water chemistry, especially when it comes on to the parameters in which the fish, each fish must be in, so as to reproduce, so as to get the colors brightened, so as to for them to grow and mature at a quick pace, right? So I don't believe in having a community tank with fish from all over the world together in that one aquarium, right? Okay. Also, and this just brings to point the fact that everything Aqua just mentioned. Many bottom dweller fish love the darker side of things because they are made to live in deep waters where light penetration is low, right? So, as I said before, bottom dwelling fish doesn't really need to live into the dark, meaning that they don't have any light. But the intensity of the light penetration should be of such that it is not as bright as, let's say, that within a tropical aquarium, right? Now, it is important for you to remember that some aquarium fish and invertebrates like snails are more active at night, right? So they use this time to forage in the substrate, for scraps, for food, and thus appreciate low light whenever possible. So if you should have an aquarium with mostly low light intensity, like during the day it's in a corner where the place is always dark, but you have a low light there, what you're going to find that the snails and the invertebrates are more active than the fish actually is, right? So you need a timer that actually set to a particular time. I know Derek have mentioned a while ago that he had a timer on his aquarium when he experienced algae bloom. I guess it's what I call it, a testing phase you have to go through as to see which time works out best for your aquarium fish species. All right, all right. I believe that when you talk about the LED, right? Adjustable LED aquarium lights will accommodate all the different species in a community aquarium without having to keep your lights on forever and being at the same intensity. So in a sense, the aquarium light, you can actually structure it in such a way. If you're like, let's say some person who have gadgets, you can set it to be dim at certain time, you can set it to be bright at certain time, and you can set it to be off at certain time, right? With regards to the timing. Yes, that's true. That's true. But you see, as I said before, lunatic fringe, it depends on the fish species and where they are from. The intensity of the light would probably be preferred, right? So the darker water aquariums should have dimmer low light, right? While those aquariums that are deemed as tropical fish aquarium, freshwater fish aquarium, should have a little bit more light intensity. And remember, you have some plants that is like it loves highlight intensity, while you have some plants that don't like bright light. So if you have some aquariums, some aquariums, when you put the plants in it and you turn on the light and the light is too bright, the plant will die. That they like it when the light is low. Um, Another the reason why a fish appreciate LED light is that the bulb is low heat. You know that back in the days, the older version. Well, I don't want to actually tire anyone, but probably some persons here might actually know what I mean as far as the hallucinogen within the fish tank cover, right? Back in the days, you usually have a bulb, a single bulb where you're screwing into the fish tank cover, and the water that would actually warm up the water, right? So you would need a timer, or you time yourself and you turn off the light at certain time. I know that for several persons, having the aquarium light on is like for mostly, as I said before, like aesthetic reason. Having the aquarium light on is for a pleasing effect. You want to see the fish, you want to see the fish color, you want to see the fish swim, you want to be one with nature, so you just have the lights on while you look at it. But it doesn't mean that you are going to keep the light on for the entire time. Another reason why your fish will appreciate the light, LED light. The lights don't heat your water like method, we call it hallucinogen, right? I think LED light right now is the way to go, right? I think that the whole idea of keeping fluorescent light within the aquarium is like archaic, ancient. We should be moving away from that and installing LED and timers, right? So at the start of the stream, I shared that I don't I cannot give a yes or no answer for whether or not aquarium lights should be installed on aquariums, because it depends on the circumstances that exist within a given space. Some persons have planted aquarium and plants will require light to grow, right? Some persons don't. Some persons have fish that love low lit spaces. So it's a little bit difficult to give a one response there, right? Oh, you deleted it. Everything aqua. Okay. Please know that fish are not as reliant on aquarium lights as plant. Fish don't need light to see to eat. However, sometimes because of how we are actually built, we believe that lights are needed when we are feeding the fish. Fish don't need light. In the night when I come home, normal circumstances. We are in the pandemic, so I work from home. So in the night when I normally go around the back to feed my ponds, well, my fish in the ponds, right? I would just use my flashlight just to find the feed in the back, and I will sprinkle it in the pond, and I will leave, right? And the fish would actually consume what they need to consume. Yes, Finch, the exact thing what I have like in my notes here, actually sharing. You're actually sharing. That's true. Let's jump to it a little bit for those persons having saltwater aquarium, right? Corals like clean water, right? And they also depend on, I don't know if you refer to a coral as a plant, but to me, I consider it as a plant, right? And it requires clean water, and it requires light. But the light intensity should be well managed, or else you're going to find yourself in a problem, because a lot of corals out there are sensitive to bright light. So having like a soft type of low intensity bulb lighting system would do really well in yeah, plants do well in bright light, everything aqua, but the fish might not, and you might find that the fish itself, well, the aquarium itself might not look aesthetic and beautiful, with as Derek pointed out earlier, with the algae bloom. Now, although your aquarium is not outdoors, but the light is light, right? So whether it is fluorescent, hallucinogen, or it is LED, bright light will encourage the massive growth of algae within the water space. Now, the light in the aquarium, as I said before, it gives you the opportunity to look at your fish more carefully, because with the bright light, with the light, looking at the aquarium, you can actually tell the health of your fish by looking at the colors. Because the brighter the colors on the fish, that means the fish is healthy. If the colors are dull, fading, you can't see them properly, that means that something is wrong. The water chemistry is off. The fish might be sick, with parasite or something. So therefore the colors actually give, just like a baby would actually sneeze, or you see cold running from the nose, or you have a fever. Yeah, one of the telltale signs that your fish, your aquatic species is not doing that well is the fading colors. Okay, Derek says one of the other than plants, it is really for the fish keeper to be able to see in their tank. That's right. Yes, 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 that's true. One of the primary reason why persons put on light is just for the aesthetics of it all. Good aquarium lights will enhance your fish colors and even make them pop. LED lights are particularly suited for the stars. Now you have colored LED light and you have white LED light, right? The placing of white LED light versus colored LED light. We look at it for a little bit shortly. Now the lights are bright enough to properly show your fish colors as well as provide you a shimmer effect of the scale. You know, some fish, the scale just look, they just look like you're on stage, and they look a shiny stuff, a shine. Yeah, they look really beautiful. And if the light is structured in such a way in the aquarium, it's like some extent, it's like it do a little reflection out there as you sit and you actually observe. Yes, 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 yes. I understand you, man. I understand everything free. Everything aqua. I understand, yeah, man. I understand. I understand. I understand. I understand, boss. And alright, so let's look a little bit at the color. Let's look a little bit at the color of the LEDs. Does it really matter? Red, blue, green, white. Now, LED temperatures are often preferred because they are best to enhance the color of the objects inside the aquarium. When they decorate fish itself. White LED light help the fish with orange, red, and yellow shades to stand out, while blue LED give other blue, green, and red like a subtle pop, a little subtle like look like, right? LED come with adjustable intensity. So if you're gonna buy a lighting system for your aquarium, well, I don't think this would apply if you are doing a DIY aquarium light installation. No, if you would have to buy the switch. But normally when you're purchasing a LED light aquarium light setup, normally it comes with a switch. And I found myself of lately also installing, well, probably I might do a video on that shortly, installing I call it now a gauge on my air pump for my filtration system, because sometimes the airflow to my aquarium filter is so high that it tends to push away the fish, and when that do happen, you end up with the fish having stress. So the gentle flow of the air works out. Now same too with the LED light, having a dimmer switch, right? A switch that actually help to turn down the light intensity, right? That works well within the aquarium, especially at night. During the day, it depends on where you actually place your aquarium. You might not need to actually turn on the light, but in the evening now, like in the night when it's getting a little dark, probably you can turn it on for a while, and then so as to admire the display of your fish in the tank. Yeah, you want to see that. It's like mimicking the moonlight type of situation, right? Moonlight LED lamp, LED light bulbs give a calm feeling, which makes your aquarium like it glows, right? And it's not too stressful for the fish while they try to sleep and rest. And that's another thing. Some persons believe that fish just swim for the entire life and they don't rest, but fish do sleep. Now, LED lights are also bright enough for your nocturnal fish to feed. The dim blue light bulb can be left on all night to stimulate moonlight and to allow the fish that actually move around in the night to actually go around and to venture out. So practically having a blue light within an aquarium, it's been suggested that you can actually leave the blue light, which actually mimics the tone, or should I say the color of nature, you know, out there in the river. The moon is shining, probably half moon or full moon, quarter moon, and the place is like lit to a certain degree, you know, the lights from the moon, the sky, all that resonates. So you know, it's like it gives a natural look like, right? And the fish can actually, especially those that are the, should I say, the aquatic creatures which forage during the night, which move during the night, can actually use that to move. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So nice, man. Nice, 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 nice. Brianoscarfish, thanks for joining. Today we're talking about lights within the. Oh, good evening. Brian, where are you from, mate? Are you from England? Are you from Australia? Right. Okay, so we're talking about LED lights, lighting in the aquarium. You know, the type of lights, you have hallucinogen, you have LED, and you have fluorescent, right? And it's being concluded that LED light is like the lights to go, right? And that you have advantage installing blue light, especially at night. You can leave that one on, but the bright white light, it should just come on for a short period of time. The intensity should be low, especially for aquariums with fish that no, man, you see, some persons live in different part of the world, so that's why I ask. Morning. Ah, Derek. All right. Elucigen. Elucigen. If you so happen to have to um install Elucigen light bulbs, right? It well, if you're considering Elucigen would more likely fit for a tropical situation, where it actually helps. It's oh, okay. So you're doing a so Derek, you're doing aquaponics system. That's nice. What kind of fish are you using? Yeah, it's nice when you use fish that produce a lot of waste, like oysters or tilapia. Alright, that be good. Alright, you get a lot of vegetables and fruits. Well, not fruits. Yeah, vegetables. You know, like peppers, okra, tomato, lettuce, cabbage. Those things. You know, it does well. Does well. Alright. So let me try and see if I can wrap up. I have a few minutes left. Alright. So the intensity of the color, the colored light bulb, it's toned blue, I mean the color blue, tone down, low tone is kind of good for those bottom dwelling fish that works in the mostly in the night, that forage on the ground, right? Uh the lights are good, uh depending on the type of plants that you have and the combination of fish that you have. So the intensity of the light must be ordered in that way. I would love if Fred do a video on his aquaponics setup from scratch. Probably he doesn't need to actually release it now, but do the video, place it down, and as the thing continues to flourish, you actually make like a diary, journal entry, and then now probably next couple of months you show us from start to finish. You show us the product and you show how I do this and stuff like that. That would be awesome. Alright, LED lights are not any more likely to cause algae growth than fluorescent bulb. With some hobbies even convinced that LED light will actually discourage algae growth. Now, algae will grow with any light at all, right? For this argument, it's important to note that fish tank um regardless of the light, right? Intensity, or regardless of whether or not you have fluorescent, hallucinogen, or LED. The rule is light, and algae will actually creep in within the water space if for a prolonged period it is left on. So leaving your aquarium lights on for prolonged protracted periods will give you algae bloom problem. Cool, Derek. I like the idea. On the other hand, the LED lights. Let's get back to the light thing. As I said, LED light deter algae growth. The fact is that LED light have a lower light intensity than hallucinogen and fluorescent. So on a comparative scale, not that LED light doesn't facilitate the growth of algae, but on a intensity scale, LED light to a less extent, you will have algae bloom that quickly with LED light. But as I said before, if you put it on a timer, you will not have a problem, because the consistency of the light is what actually results in this green water algae growth, the aquarium looking untidy according to you, right? I have actually gone to the river before, where I've actually seen the river itself, which is a body of water flowing down a steep slope. The water itself is green, right? So sometimes these things do occur in nature, and other time I go by the river and the water is clear. You can actually see the river channel itself. You can see the stone and the sand in the substrate of the river, right? So it depends on the intensity of the sunshine and all of that, right? Morning, Aquafunk. This morning we're talking about lights on your aquariums. Do you have light on your aquarium, Aquafunk? And what kind of light? Do you have hallucinogen? Do you have fluorescent? Or do you have LED? What color? Is it white? Is it blue? Is it red? And how long do you keep your lights on in your aquarium? That's what we have been looking at this morning. And what type of fish do you put your what kind of fish do you have within that aquarium? Is it tropical? Is it temperate? Is it, when I say tropical, I mean like, is it like tropical, African, those Caribbean, those type of fish, or is it like temperate, like you know what I mean? I'm just trying to break it down for persons listening so that they will understand as to what I'm saying, right? So the bulb that you have, that you install as a part of your lighting arrangement for your aquarium, can actually be something, a discourager or encourager for persons looking on your aquarium setup, right? So this morning was a healthy discussion. Okay, folks, me hear you, boss. So how would you feel? By the way, in Jamaica, some people will tell you that they don't sleep with the lights on. I don't know how you guys feel. For my kids, I leave a light on, so they are, they feel a little bit more comfortable having night lights sometimes, and sometimes the bathroom light is on. Hey, fishy bees, my boss, what go on? You get ready for work. I'm going to get ready myself to go out, so as to do a little exercise this morning, and get ready for work myself, right? It was a busy night last night, and I think yesterday was a good day. I think today will be an even better day. Today this morning's stream was primarily about aquarium lights. There's a lot of total, a lot of argument pro, persons saying that aquarium lights should be installed. Aquarium, to me, it's a yes or no response. To me, it's a response that persons will have to make individually, based on their exact situation. Because I have plants in my ponds outside. I don't have lights on that system, right? I don't have lights on that system. And my Elodor, what I call it? Elodia, yeah, Elodia densa plant, doing well, and also my giant duckweed. Those are the plants in which I have outside. Inside, I do not have aquarium plants in my aquarium. Periodically, I would have to place my fish, my fish in the ponds, because when it comes on to like the warmer parts of the summer, inside is really the aquariums is like they're boiling. So you have to like take them out and place them outside. Ha ha ha. Brian, where you at? Where in the States are you at, Brian? Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. I'm gonna fix some food this morning and get myself ready to go online. I just got my blue glasses last night, so my eyes are a little bit more relaxed. You know, they were a little bit burnish because of the extensive use of the virtual space. So the blue light glasses should help, and I am doing okay. Alright guys, so it's your boy Raleigh for another Fish Keeping Jamaica stream. I appreciate you being here. I believe in you very shortly. Is there any closing points in which anyone would like to make regarding aquarium lights? For me, aquarium lights are needed for plants, and depending on the plant that you have, as I said before, it depends on the system that you have. Some aquarium plants require you know, cereal, right? Cereal and milk, right? Fishy bees. Cereal and milk. I think Brian said that he's gonna get donuts. Well, I have to eat my banana, my dumpling, and my saltfish with some probably chocolate tea, right? Yeah, and a fruit, and that's my breakfast, and then I get my lunch later. Right? Working from home is a lot of energy because I have to be going from class to class virtually, and it's coming like I talk more when I'm actually doing my virtual classes, right? And I'm doing a little more work because I have to be supervising from the virtual space, so it just keeps me going from place to place. All right, so as I break down, as I end, some plants require low intensity light, right? So you have to be mindful of that. The plant that you're getting, do your research, find out whether or not the plant that you're actually using in your aquarium space, if it requires limited amount of light. If so, then now you're gonna have to have something like a switch that actually turns down the light so that the intensity is low. Funk, that's really funny. That's really funny. So, Funk, do you have lights on your aquarium? Okay. Everything aqua. This is the question I want to ask you. Do you keep do you keep your aquarium like let's say you have aquarium fish from Africa, you have all the Africans in that, South American, all South American, Asia, all, or do you actually mix from different area in one single aquarium? I try not to do that. Yeah. Fishy bees. Okay, okay. All right. So Brian's Oscar fish. Why don't you use a timer that actually chips in at the time? Let's say that you put it in at to come on at 6 and to turn off at 9, or to turn off at 10. That way the light will be consistent in being on and off. So therefore it doesn't startle the fish. Yeah, fish actually get used to stuff. Okay. All right, just like what Derek is saying with regard to the setting of the timer. But you see, it's an intent. You have two timer, you know. Yeah. Well, I would say, yeah, you have two. Yeah, you have a complicated timer where you can actually set the intensity. So like certain time of the day it would like go down. This is like complicated electronic stuff, right? Like certain time of the day it would like go bright. Certain time of the day it would go like dull, and certain time of the day it would like turn off itself. So it's like a complicated. Fred, what he's actually saying, what Funk is actually saying, is that he's not as skilled as you. Aquarium light within his system that actually manages itself. Unlike you who actually does this, he is saying that you're bragging, right? So that's the thing. That's the thing, right? I love for you guys to actually show me the whole installation process that you actually go through in installing aquarium light within your system. That would be an awesome share. Yes, fishy. So at the end of the day, fishy, do you actually receive should I say experience algae bloom algae bloom within your system? Do you actually experience algae bloom within your system, fish?